Sports live streaming coverage. This is Championship Skiing on CBC presented by Mackenzie Investments. Be invested.
Well, hello everyone and welcome to Alpine Action, coming to you from Val Disere, nestled in the southeastern part of France, just 3 kilometers away from the Italian border. And you know what, humans have actually inhabited this area since before Roman times. Skiers came a little bit later. Doesn't mean there isn't a lot of history that comes with skiing and this mountain. Karl Schranz, of course, won the first Giant Slalom World Cup race there in 1968. The 92 Albertville Olympics took place in this exact spot, and today it's home to 71 of the best skiers in the world competing in the men's Giant Slalom, chasing the podium, chasing those precious Crystal Globe points. And we're going to walk you through run number 2. I am Rob Pizzo alongside the one and only Brian Stemmel. How are you, Brian?
Doing well. Good to be up with you and watching this second run. It's going to be a good run. Little light snowfall coming. It was nice earlier for that first run, but here comes the snow in the French Alps.
Before we get to the second run, I got to ask you, the story of run number 1 might be 3 letters, D, N, F. I actually had to, count how many. Usually you can just eyeball 22 DNFs. That's not something you see very often, is it?
Yeah, there's a lot of them on this course. On the Festa Belvard here, it's just really steep and challenging. 450-meter vertical drop, 50 gates, and it's just relentless. And it's a great place to watch because from the finish area, you can see pretty much right up to the start and see every single turn. So it's a great spectator sport, but to race it is brutal. It's really tough because the hill is just so steep.
A lot of big names we're going to see later on, obviously, because they go in reverse order. We narrowed down those 71 racers down, and we're going to see some of the big names. Who are some of the ones that jump out to you? Or is it the Marco Odermats? Is it the Henrik Kristoffersen? Who are you really watching out for?
Yeah, basically the top 3 guys, Odermatt, Kristoffersen, Maillard from the first run, but also Eric Reed, the Canadian. He was 16th on the first run, so sitting in a pretty decent spot. There he is right there, 3.63 back. The longest margin, or the biggest margin, of qualifying ever in Val Disere Giant Slalom, 5 seconds, 0.15 with Sandro Zubreg, and he'll be running 30th in his very first World Cup race. So a lot of time to get in there. 5 seconds on that first run is really unheard of in alpine skiing. Usually it's around 2-3 seconds for these guys in Giant Slalom, but just shows you how difficult it is to be close to the top guys.
Yeah, in news that should surprise absolutely no one, Marco Odermatt, 5-time Crystal Globe winner, reigning Olympic and gold medal winner, 13 wins last year, will go last, had the best time in run number 1. And it's one of those situations. What's it like? He's won here twice at Val Disere when everyone's chasing that one guy. You've been in these situations.
Yeah, he's just so good in Giant Slalom. He's won 12 of the last 18 Giant Slalom races and 3 to end up last year. And as you saw on that board, the last 2 here in Val Disere. This guy is just so strong. He crushes it every time.
You touched on the weather. It does look like a little bit is coming down there. What is the perfect weather that you used to enjoy when you used to compete?
Oh, sunny and icy. That's what they'd like, but you can't dictate that. But the snow is really hard, so it's a great firm base, nice and hard surface underneath there. The overcast is going to make it really difficult to see the little nuances in the course and in the track as it deteriorates as we get along this second run.
13 different countries represented in this men's giant slalom race. Switzerland leading the way with 6. We're less than a minute away from getting this thing underway. And again, if you're just joining us, run number 2. So reverse order of the best times of run number 1. We will build up to that Marco Odermatt that we were talking about, who will look to try to build on another Crystal Globe. He's done absolutely everything. Men's Giant Slalom from Val Disere. Let's get this thing underway with Sandro Zubreg from Switzerland, won silver in the Giant Slalom in the 2020 Winter Youth Olympics behind Philipp Hoffmann of Austria. Came 14th in the slalom in combination and came 19th in Super G. And he will get us off for run number 2, Brian.
Well, this kid must be sweating in his boots right now. Very first World Cup race, qualified just on the bubble in that 30th spot. Remember, only 30 get this second run, and it is a really difficult, challenging course, but all the way from bib 69 to 30 is impressive. The youngest kid in this second run, he's an 02. But, yeah, with 22 DNFs in the first run, he's just got to really be careful here. Just so steep and challenging. Now you get a shot of it right straight down that pitch as you come right into the finish area, but it's a ways to go from here. Listen to how icy it is underneath the feet. Course set by Christian Mitter from Norway. That'll help Henrik Kristoffersen and some of the other Norwegians in this second run. They're familiar with this course setting, but pretty tighter than normal because of the steepness of the course. So this course is set 21, 22 meters, normally 25 meters apart the gates, but because of the severity of the slope, they have to tighten it up a little bit. But good run from the kid. Way to go. Good finish.
Zurbrand crossing the line in a combined time of 2:18.32. So for the time being, nervous or not, he gets that number 1 spot. It's got to be a little nerve-wracking when you're that young.
Wow, your very first
after 2000?
very first World Cup race, and you're starting number 1 out of the gate, but really took advantage of it, and he's got that keeper bib. That's going to be awesome.
Next up, Frederick Moeller, 4th in the GS and the European Cup just earlier this month. Second skier down the mountain.
Course doesn't look anything too tricky, just nice rhythm. That's what you have to do in GS. Oh, he's offline and late now. Now he's got to crawl back onto that line. Sometimes when you get a little bit low on this course, it really pushes you down because of the precipitous slope. It just drifts you down way too far towards the next gate. You have to almost climb back up to get yourself back in the proper line.
Has to be much more difficult with the icy conditions as well, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's how these guys like it. It's they want it as slick as a skating rink. It's going to stay consistent. You can really trust the snow. But when it's flat like this, it's just really hard to see every little granular of snow to make sure you're right in the mix. And wow, he's way out of it.
Frederick Moeller from Norway coming across the line in 2:20.14. He's not going to be happy with that one. You mentioned it, the mistake he made, just unable to recover from.
We'll get a shot of it right here, but good shot of how much he's getting bounced around, and that outside ski needs to stay in snow contact, but it does look a little rough in certain sections.
Fellow Norwegian Rasmus Vingenstad, 30 years old, finished 9th in the World Cup rankings in GS last year, bronze medalist from the Beijing Games in the team event.
You can hear him working already. It's good interval time up top. Just being really aggressive this run. I like how much, oh, there's that tough turn right there. I think that's the one that
he's going to get a lot of
through his
today,
teammate as well. Oh, and again, just getting that upper body twisted. You have to stay so disciplined, keeping your upper body and your hips facing straight down the hill, really using those core muscles. But once you get spun around, those tails will slide out a little bit if you drift your shoulders off to the side of the hill. Vinningstad's Norwegian, but has a Swedish mother. He was 3rd in Palisades Tahoe last year, but that's not a great run from him.
Not a great run, and for the time being, sitting in 2nd place. And I've always said this about skiers, Brian. I think they'd make back poker players. You know exactly what they're thinking the second they cross that finish line. You could tell whether they liked it or they didn't.
Yeah, there's all the people watching up top, all of his coaches and servicemen and racers. They get to watch on the monitor up there.
Don't read lips either. Victor Mouffe-Gendé from France made his World Cup debut back in 2009. First podium came in 2015. That was in the Super Combined at Wengen. And his first win came 3 years later. Same race.
Well, he's been around for a long time. 222nd start. Whoa, he's got that left ski way up in the air. Moufageonde loves racing here, loves this hill. Really, he's in the best shape of his life, his coaches tell me, after 2 seasons of injuries. But he was a little bit apprehensive at the beginning of training in May. It's because of those injuries, but even wondered last year after Adelboden when he fell if he should quit. But he's decided to keep it going, and what can he do here in his home hill? 1.4 back now after being 0.22 up top.
Had a 3rd place here in GS in 2015.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
Yeah.
This really doesn't have that speed on this hill today, but just trying to figure it out after a couple of years of injuries.
Doesn't look like he has. 4th place finish for Moufageonde. So Zurbrag still maintaining that lead. 32 100ths of a second better than Wingenstadt. Next up, Alex Finizer from Italy.
Well, the first time racing GS here for Finatzer. He's normally a slalom skier, but is branching out into GS because he won the Worlds in Giant Slalom in Courchevel. He's 4th in Adelboden, but he's straddled 3 times in a row. Once in GS in Alta Badia and a couple times in slalom in the last year, so he's really on the edge most of the time. Standing a little bit back in his stance, a little like Bodie Miller, the American. He used to ski in the hips back a little bit. Finatzer's looking good. Yeah, 0.38, that's good interval time. Sometimes when you sit back a little bit, you can create more speed, but it is more dangerous because you're not on the front of those skis getting them carved early in the turn. But this is excellent. Just little edge changes right at the gate right there, and excellent.
We probably will have a new leader. Alex Finatzer from Italy, yes. He will take over the leader's seat, seem to build that momentum, as you mentioned, all the way down the hill and pick up speed. And he is your new leader in this men's GS from Val Disere.
Oh, beautiful shot there. Really pivoted his skis. That was nice.
Let's head to the top of the mountain. Alex Grammel from Germany. Last 4 races, 3 DNQs and 1 DNF. So we'll see if just getting to the bottom will be a bit of a sigh of relief for him.
All the way from number 64 to 25, so that was an excellent first run for Grammel. You can hear him yelling at himself already. He doesn't like it.
I told you, bad poker players. They let you know their emotions. You know this. You've been there. I'm sure you were yelling on the course a couple of times in your career.
I wasn't much of a yeller on the course or even talking to myself, but I know a lot of people who do and who have. I spoke about Karen Percy last week. She used to recite the Bible as she went down, it seemed like.
It's funny you should mention that. Michaela Schifrin, who just picked up her 91st World Cup win, in her post-race interview suggested that skiers should be mic'd up and you should hear everything they say going down the hill. Grammel crossing the line in a combined time of 2:19.18, just off a podium spot right now, and yet lets out that yell. Not happy about it.
Well, and he should be, considering he started number 64, but he wants so much more from himself. You know, it's only his, he's got a short career. He's in his 30s, but only 3 top 20s last season, so yeah, Finatzer likes it.
Justin Muriger from Switzerland, 31 years old, just outside the top 30 last year.
Whoa,
in the rankings.
That's not good. That's on the flattest part of the hill. Most of this hill's over 50% grade, so really extremely steep. At the top there, it's about 32, 37, so not as much, but he made a major mistake there.
As you mentioned, with the course conditions and everything today, kind of tough. Oh, wow, and he just could not recover. Maybe pushed himself just a little bit too much to recover from that mistake you talked about at the top of the hill. That is a DNF for Justin Merzier from Switzerland.
Well, watch his left foot here, just gets up in the air a little bit. oh, he really dipped his shoulder in, and then that ski came right up. And so a lot of guys do that on the first run, fall on their side. It's a classic mistake, especially on the hill that has the extreme slope of this.
So he's obviously not happy about that one. From Austria, Noel Schwitzenbrugger making his World Cup debut as well. On his Instagram page, he's got a picture of him at the top of the mountain from just a few hours ago, just saying, first time.
Yeah, that's so cool. Only 22, and here he goes. What's he got?
Show us what you got, kid, right?
Well, I watched him training in Copper Mountain in Colorado GS a few weeks ago, and this guy's just really balanced well, powerful, strong. Really reminds me a lot like Marcel Hirschu, who's won here 8 times, I think, 5 times in GS. But look at this guy's form. Man, he's so good. Just tell right out of the start, just confident, powerful. Look at that. You know, you stand on that edge, put pressure on it, and then release it between the turns, and it really can just slingshot you into the next turn. But you have to have the right amount of exact pressure and balance on every single turn on those 193 centimeter skis. Look at this lead, 3/4 of a second now for the kid in his first World Cup start. This will be something. If he takes the lead for a while here, watch out. Now getting a little tired, but still keeping up with the pace, still got the rhythm. Not the greatest in the middle, that section, but this is a good run.
Let's see. I said, show us what you got, kid. Well, this kid's got himself in first place for the time being. Yes is right. Noel Schwitzenbrugger from Austria. Like I said, all excited for his first time, and maybe ignorance is bliss. Didn't have time to get nervous. He's too young, but right now he gets a front row seat in that leader's chair. Leo Angenot from France, who is a skier and a water skier as well, does both at a high level. I know they're both skiing, Brian, but that's just incredible to me.
Yeah, he's world-class water skier, does tricks, does jumps. 38, 3 balls at 38 off. That's really, really good. I think the record's 40-something, but man, this guy can do it on frozen ice and on the ice on the lake too, or on the water in the lake. It's been one of the fastest Frenchmen in summer training. If the coaches say just needs to learn tactics a little bit rather than relying on instincts. And you do that because if you just rely on instincts, you can just fly down the hill and you end up at like a DNF like we saw so many people in the first run. But if you have a plan, you have some tactics of exactly what you need to do on this course and exactly how you need to ski, not going too crazy because he's just trying to get in there in the points.
Does that just come with reps, though? Is that one
Yeah,
of those things that as your career goes on,
Yeah.
you understand how important that is?
Yeah, well, his mom and dad were on the French team, so hopefully they gave him a little bit of advice how to do it.
218.98 for the time being, sitting in 5th place. You can tell he's not exactly thrilled with his performance.
Yeah, just sometimes on that second run, you're starting number 60. You want to finish in the points to try and improve that start number next time, get you into the top 30, so the course is going to be smoother on the first run. So you tend to hold back a little bit.
Padre Jonathan from Switzerland. 2022 World Cup win came in France. That was in Team Parallel. He's next down the hill.
Making it look easy. Just like a lot of these young skiers, a lot of these later numbers coming into the top 30 gives you an idea of how difficult it is on this circuit just to be in the top 30, top 15. There's just so many guys who race. If you go down to a Europa Cup race, it's like the farm system in baseball. There are kids down there who are just so good, and it's just really hard to win on each single circuit. There's just so many Swiss, Austrians, Norwegians, Americans, the Canadians are coming along.
As he crosses the line in 219.07, good for 6th place right now. Throws his hands in the air and says, I gave it my best. I'm just guessing there as I'm trying to read.
Yeah, no, it looks good.
They give their emotions out.
They do.
Another skier skiing on home soil from France. Thibaut Favreau is off. You've had the opportunity many times in your career to ski in Canada. Does it just give you a little bit of extra juice when you go down that mountain?
Yeah, absolutely. You're familiar with the territory, familiar with the hill, familiar with surroundings, just, you know, getting up the hill, knowing where to go, knowing where to get your breakfast and train in the afternoon in the gym, the training hill. But then the added pressures of having family and friends here and commitment to those people and more interviews. So it's a little more difficult, but Thibaut's a experienced guy. It's his first race back. He's excited to race here. He's tore his ACL in, I think, November in 2022 in a race in Finland, and just coming back from that now. He has no pain in his knee, but he admitted he was a bit nervous before. Look out.
Spins out.
Oh, now you're just hoping his knee's okay. When you get caught in that back position and you fall like that, sometimes that anterior cruciate ligament doesn't enjoy those moves.
And it's tough, regardless of the sport, when you've got an injury like that, when you return, to not be thinking about it as you're going down the course. You may be pain-free, but you don't have that fearlessness maybe that you did before that injury.
Absolutely, yeah. It takes your invincibility out, and don't like that.
Patrick Fierstein from Austria, 24th last year in the World Cup rankings in GS. Just one World Cup podium in his career, came in 2022, a second place finish in France in the team parallel.
Getting caught back a little bit too much. Really had the speed going nicely up top, and then is now caught in that back position. And no, and he's down. No, he's made it though. What a recovery. Just bounced right back up. That was insane. You have no idea how hard that is to do, just to pop back up and stay in there. But that's when you rely on instincts.
And almost went down again. Twice has been able to stay upright. The first time with the help of his backside. That one was just the help of his core. It's obviously going to affect us. Finished with a time of 2:18.29. For someone whose body hit the snow to cross the line with a time like that, you have to wonder, Brian, no mistakes. What's his time?
You can see the mark in his rear end, too, where he falls down here, goes for a little skid.
That is an incredible show of athleticism there. As you mentioned, you have no idea how hard that is. Thomas Tumler from Switzerland, 5 top 10 finishes in the World Cup, including 2 podium places. Finished in the top 20 last year in the World Cup rankings. The 34-year-old heading down the hill.
Okay, he's holding up the lead now. There's that trouble right again, that mid part of the course. He seems to get a little tighter there in the rhythm. Guys are having problems. Maybe just getting a little more rough, getting bounced around. You can't stay as smooth now. Tumler's having some difficulty. Whoa.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just getting that right hand up in the air. That'll take edge pressure off your right ski, and hasn't been great for him.
And he crosses the line with a time of 2:18.60, 6th place. Everyone's still chasing Noel Schwenzenbrugger. If you haven't heard of him, don't worry. He's making his World Cup debut, and what a debut for Schwenzenbrugger.
He needs a nickname.
Yeah, let's give him one, Brian. Let's get
Big Z, the Swish, the Burger, the
Yeah,
Burger.
exactly. Filippo Della Vite from Italy. 7 top 15 finishes in his World Cup career. His best was a 7th place finish in GS in March of 2023. Finished 13th last year in the Crystal Globe race.
Yeah, he's got some good GS skills, that's for sure, as do many of the Italians. He was the best ranked Italian giant slalom skier last season. People, as they call him. Oh no, and he's out.
Missed that gate, and his day is done. He actually finished 10th in GS in the most recent World Championships, and we'll see what happened here, Brian.
Well, late in the line, once you have to have about half of your turn done before that red gate, and he didn't have any of it finished, and that was it. A lot of guys wearing the neck warmers out there. Is it that cold? I don't know.
Were you weren't a neck warmer guy?
Yeah, no. Not racing. I am now, though. It's because I'm old. There's Manny Feller, one of the characters on the circuit, won the only race here, and here we go.
Yes, the one and only Canadian in the field in run number 2, Eric Reed from Calgary, Alberta. The most recent Worlds helped Canada to a bronze medal in the team event. He actually told Brenda Irving afterwards in the mixed zone he didn't know what he had to do, and that ignorance was almost like bliss. You could just go out and do what you have to do.
Well, he's done it for so long. He knows what he has to do here in this second run. That's get after it. He's mired in the mid-teens most of last year, most of his giant slalom career best 7th, I think, but just always such good technique and composure. Doesn't make too many mistakes, but needs to get after it on this run. 0.9 advantage on the Austrian at this point, but has lost all of that margin from that first run and then some. Just skidding a little bit too much. He's got to be a little harder on it right there at the gate. Just hasn't found the zip in those skis down here at the bottom at all.
Almost 3/4 of a second off the pace for the Canadian as he crosses the line out of podium position. 6th place, 2:18.37 for the Canadian.
Yeah, it just didn't really look that comfortable on this run. I'm not sure his skis were absolutely perfect for him there. There's that tough, rough gate. Managed that pretty well considering what some of the other guys have done. But remember, we're early. That's the first GS race of the season. We're already in mid-December.
Weather has been a huge issue, and there is your leader. Enjoy the seat, kid. We said, show us what you got, your first World Cup event. And that's who is your leader now. But as you mentioned, plenty more to come. Men's giant slalom from Val Disere. Don't go anywhere. Val Disere.
You're watching Championship Skiing on CBC, presented by Mackenzie Investments. Be invested.
We are back. Men's giant slalom from Val Disere. There are your leaders. Still plenty to come. It's run number 2, remember, so we are going in reverse order from what they did in run number 1. Best times are near the end, and that's where you will find the top dogs, the favorites. But for now, the kid is sitting number 1 in his World Cup debut, and he might as well just enjoy the seat now, right?
He should, yeah. He's been there for a while. It's getting pretty warm, but yeah, as you said, the big top dogs are coming, and so is the snow. Even snowing a little bit harder now. It's going to make that visibility worse. It's good for the kid sitting in the lead.
I know you said the icy conditions are great, but you can hear it. You can actually, and I noticed right away with Eric Reed's run, you could see that he wasn't digging in as much. Next up is going to be Giovanni Borsotti from Italy. Top 30 in the GS rankings last year. See if he can get himself off to a really good start. I mentioned you talked about the weather. Weather has just been an issue on the entire Alpine 2024 season. So many races canceled.
Yeah, 6 out of the first 7 races canceled. It's crazy, but it happens. It's alpine skiing, and it has happened before. If they had races in Lake Louise, they probably would have been canceled, but they didn't go there this year, and they paid the price. Borsotti, man, I love watching this guy ski giant slalom. He really gets after it. If you go on YouTube, you have to watch this guy's fall in Cortina in 2021 World Championships where he falls and slides for what seems like an eternity.
Well, if you're not going to ski down the hill, you might as well just cruise down the hill.
Okay, good. He's got the lead. Almost got twisted around there, but managed to hold on. Now he's done it again, the same mistake. Gets that left arm reaching for his wallet in his back pocket, and that's trouble. And you can see that time just going away now. Too bad.
He had green lights going in. That mistake certainly did cost him. 217.82. Podium position for now, but could have been much, much better had it not been for Giovanni looking for that wallet in the back pocket, like you said.
That's right. There it is right there. Whoa, and he almost grabbed it. How many euros is he going to win for this? Well, not the top prize, 50,000.
Antle Lee McGrath from Norway. First World Cup podium came in December of 2020 in, you guessed it, giant slalom.
And he's coming back from a knee injury as well, and really tough for Atle. His best friend Lucas Broughton retired 2 days before that opening race in Solden, Austria. He was one of the greatest skiers and really up-and-comer with Atle, one of his best friends. They grew up together in Norway, skied together, and Lucas just decided to retire, packed it in, had some problems with the Norwegian Federation and sponsorship, and now Lucas is living in Brazil, playing music and surfing and just hanging out. And he said, I'm just happier being here and not being a ski racer. But for McGrath, having his best friend leave and McGrath being injured, I wonder if he thought a few of the same things. This is good, though. Amazing.
Playing music and surfing sounds like a pretty good life. And McGrath crosses the line. He is your new leader. Look at that time, and you heard the woohoo. He's happy with that one. And he will take a seat in that leader's chair.
Wow, such a solid run from Atle. His dad ski raced for the United States, and he's put himself in a good spot.
Luca Dallapranini there. It's funny, with a lot of these names sometimes we have to struggle. I always expect to get the Italian ones right with my Italian background, and that's the one that I was struggling with.
Dallapranini. Yeah,
Dallapranini.
Dates Michelle Gizine on the women's circuit. And he's one of the great Italian guys as well. A real character. Oh, he's done.
I think I threw him by mispronouncing his last name.
Well, once you get more familiar with all these names, I remember back in the day we used to call him Beat Fuez instead of Beat Foyts, but we quickly learned his name and how good he was. So I'm sure that one will roll off your tongue before you know it.
His day done much earlier than he would have liked. Marco Odermatt there, the man everyone's looking up to, just given everything he's done, had the best time in run number 1, so he will go last. A little bit of a break here while they make sure it's clear. Manuel Feller from Austria, second in the GS, as you see there on the screen, back in 2022.
So here's the guy who won the only race of the season so far for the men. That was the slalom in Gurgel in Austria. The sweep of the podium for the Austrians, and Manny was right at the top.
Also third here 2 years ago, second last year as well. It's just certain courses, right? You just enjoy going there, and you always have success.
Yep. Courses for horses. You have to pick your favorite one where you've done well in the past, and usually that'll set you up for the next year.
Also has a silver medal in the Olympics and World Championships in his trophy case, so not a bad career for Feller.
And he'll really be looking forward to that slalom tomorrow, but he's come on so well in giant slalom too, just not today, just doesn't, well, he does now. Look at that. Holy 400s
He heard
out of
you.
nowhere.
He heard you. The green light went on. Do we have a new leader?
Oh.
Yes, we do. Manuel Feller says, Mr. McGrath, please get out of my chair. I am the new leader. And talk about recovery.
Well, I thought he'd skied so wide there that was really going to cost him because he had to climb almost back up the hill to make that red gate. But he made such short, quick arcs at each gate. That really propelled him right down to the finish.
Alexander Steen Olsen, 32-year-old from Norway, 5 top 10 finishes in his World Cup career. 1 podium, happened to be a win, and it came in slalom. Also helped Norway to that silver medal in the team event at the World Championships.
Whoa, and he's down. Too bad.
Got himself off to a good start there, but that ski just went way too high.
Yeah, and then got caught in the big mound of snow at the side of the course. He couldn't manage to pop back up. I wish they'd show this shot more. Really gives you an idea of the line that they need. He gets shot wide there, and then watch this berm of snow right there. Goes right through it and just doesn't have any chance whatsoever.
His day is done. And plenty more skiing to come as we are starting to get into the nitty-gritty of the times from run number 1. River Radamus is going to be next from the United States. There is Henrik Kristoffersen from Norway. He is going to be the penultimate skier. See if he can put up a time that will put the pressure on Odermatt. Top 10 skiers from run number 1. This is where we see who can get themselves in a position to win this. River Radamus from the United States next down the hill. Repped them at the 2022 Olympics. Just missed out on a medal, finishing 4th in the GS.
Yeah, and he's really got so much skill. And his idol was Bodie Miller. Remember watching Bodie Miller at Beaver Creek when he was a kid in Colorado, and wanted to be him one day, and here he is. Trying to keep his skis underneath him a little more and then release it when he hits that gate. Oh, he's skiing wide again. Lost some speed. And what River does in between the turns, he really thinks about pulling his feet up and behind him. So right there, right in the middle of the turn, his feet come up and behind him in that transition. Some of your coaches will say, get on the front of your skis and flex your ankles. But River thinks about pulling his feet up and behind him, gets on that front of the ski early, and it's really working for him now. This is good half a second now.
As he crosses the line, and there it is, River Radamus taking over the lead. Pumping his fists. It is a slim one, but yeah, he is jacked up. 25 years old. Most recent World Championships helped the Americans to that team gold event, and here he is in a position to possibly get himself a World Cup victory as well.
Always a really aggressive skier, but prone to make mistakes. Didn't make any there.
Alexander Schmidt from Germany, 14th last year in the World Cup rankings in GS. 2 Winter Olympics, 3 World Championships under his belt.
Just really surprising to see Schmidt here in 9th place on the first run. Oh, hang on, buddy. Tore his ACL last March. But he's back on snow, ready to compete just 9 months after that ACL tear. Usually takes about 6 months to get fully recovered. But man, to have such strength and power already early in this season in his first race back is incredible. Regardless of his interval time here, even though it's pretty good. Yeah, look out.
Oh, wow.
He's done well here in Val Disere before. He's been 6th 3 times, so he knows how to get it done on this hill, but coming back from injury is always such a massive task. Look at this.
It's been green lights all the way. Will it continue to be green as he crosses the line? Alexander Schmidt is your new leader. That lead just keeps changing hands. People aren't even sitting in the seat right now because, as we mentioned, we're into the top 10. The times that were the best in run number 1, and Schmid is your new leader. The 29-year-old will take over that top spot. Alexis Pinturault from France. Top 5 last year in GS. 34 World Cup victories, the most successful French skier in World Cup history, Brian.
Yeah, ever. The kid from Courchevel, not a kid anymore. 32 years old. 3,900s up top. He's put on about 7 pounds this summer. That'll help him with some strength and help him in the speed events. He's not going to ski slalom anymore. Just mostly focusing on Super G and Giant Slalom where he can really dangle. Oh,
wow,
this is really
well
good.
ahead of the pace.
This is what the French people came to see. Now, can
69.
Pinturault do it down this last pitch down here? Got to stay in the rhythm. Got to keep that strength up. Let that crowd bring you home. Looks like he's going to do it. Oh,
Pinturault
wow.
almost a second ahead of the pace. If he stays upright, we have a new leader for the 3rd consecutive skier. And yet, wow, 1.19. He knew right away. He doesn't even have to look at the time. Pinturault from France, overall world champion in 2021, is now your leader.
Well, that was exceptional. So good. Look how wide he is on that turn. That didn't seem to bother him at all.
Filip Zubcic from Croatia, now down the hill, and we've seen leader change after leader change, Brian, and that's what happens when you get to the elite skiers.
And
Who
that's
just
surprising.
tore up run 1, right?
Surprising because the visibility is getting worse. It's starting to snow a little bit harder. They're expecting some snow to come in later this afternoon, but it's come in early. But man, look at Zubcic. This guy, I love watching him. He is such a great giant slalom skier, on his edge just for a second at the gate, or a 1/10 of a second, and he's onto that new ski really early. That's awesome. Well, kind of biding his time a little bit through that midsection. What's that say? Okay, 200's pretty good.
Within striking distance of that time.
Oh, man, seen a lot of skiers have their ski way up in the air, but he's got it down quickly.
Filip Zubcic from Croatia is your new leader.
Oh, he was so lucky. His goggle straps are actually way down in the back of his head, and his goggles were lucky they didn't come off. That would have been disastrous. I don't know how they slipped down so low. There's that ski way up in the air right down at the bottom, but holy smokes, is this guy powerful.
I've said new leader quite a bit, Brian, as of late. We'll see if I say it again. Jean Cregnet.
Yeah, I would expect him to take the lead too, because he's one of the best giant slalom skiers in the world as well. Cronjet's has really got it going. Okay. It's going to be close now. All these times are just so close. Well, I don't think we're going to have a new leader now. 0.5 back. Okay, making 0.23. I was wrong last week with Volhova and the women. And I like being wrong when I say the guy's not going to win, because it just shows me how smooth and comfortable he is. Sometimes the best in the world make it look easy.
Jean Cronjet's crossing the line. 3rd place, 216.08. So for the first time in a while, I'm not announcing that we have a new leader in this giant slalom race.
Yeah, too bad. Not his best. 14th on that second run.
And you really see the visibility deteriorating there on that shot. Jean Verdu from Switzerland debuted in 2019. 2012 finished 3rd at the French National Championships, competed the Winter Olympics as well in 2014. Excuse me, from Andorra.
Yeah, just sandwiched in between Spain and France. Andorra, the tiny country, works in partnership with the French team, so he's comfortable with this hill and all the Frenchmen that he trains with. Whoa, my goodness. I'm really surprised to see him so good on that first run, all the way from 19th to 5th. And this might even be better on that second run. Really skiing well. Maybe a little different technique. He's got that pole plant every single time on that right pole. Really stuffs it into the ground.
Snow coming down hard,
working.
but Verdu is your new leader.
I didn't see that coming.
What a time there. I don't know if he saw that coming. Put yourself in a position this late in the race and you know there's a good chance for possibly a podium. It's got to be tough just watching from the comfy seat. Marco Schwartz made his World Cup debut at the tender age of 19. Here he is, 28 years old now, 4th last year in the World Cup rankings. 4 podiums last season, including a win in GS.
Well, they call him Blackie, and it probably seems like it's really dark out there right now for him. Getting later in the day. This hill faces mostly east. So it's really dark on this pitch on the Fasta Belvard, and that's not going to make Marco Schwartz happy. 0.5 back. Kind of the jack of all trades. He's looking to race every single race before Christmas. Downhill, slalom, Super G,
Wow.
and here in the GS.
Marco Schwartz crossing the line, and he is your new leader.
Look at that at the bottom, 0.61 ahead just in the last 15 seconds. Holy, did he fly down there.
Brian, I hope you're not a sports gambler. A couple times you've said it's not going to happen, and then it happens.
I don't know what's going on. Some
Here
expert.
we go. Loic Meillard from Switzerland, 27 years old. At his 3rd World Championship in 2021, he won 2 bronze medals in the parallel, giant slalom, and combined.
Okay, the last 3 here. And he's really been feeling it in training. Meillard has been skiing well. More of an all-round skier. Maybe not quite as locked in as last year, but oh, goodness. Now he's crawling, has lost a lot of speed there. I'm going to go out on a limb and say he's not going to do it again, which means he probably will.
So here's your winner.
No, that was just too much of a mistake. You have to ski a perfect run in the second run. Those other guys are just too good. Schwartz and Verdu and Zubcic half a second up on him, and he's going to be scrambling for the top 5 now.
Well, there you go. That was a good prediction there. Right into the top 5. But no, he's clearly not happy, but that one mistake he was unable to recover from. So, 2 skiers left. The 2 best times and 2 of the best skiers in GS on planet Earth. Henrik Kristoffersen, 7 World Cup wins in GS to go along with his Olympic silver medal and World Championship gold. He's got 4 crystal globes.
I'm just always so excited to watch Kristoffersen. The wild child, as Scott Russell calls him.
He's never had a win here in GS. Could this be his first?
Okay. He's done well through that rough part of the course, skiing on new van. Oh no! Just as I say that, he's blown it. That's too bad. He's on Van Dier skis. Not too many guys on those. New ski company that Marcel Hirscher's behind, and he's trying all new skis this year. Looks like he's on their boot as well, or is that a Lang boot? I can't tell, but man, he's struggling on this run. 0.9 back. Watch out for, you want to talk about emotion in the finish, you're going to see some here from Kristoffersen, and it's not going to be good.
Norway's most successful skier, not successful on this day. He knows it. Mistakes kind of just piled up on that run, Brian.
Yeah, big time, I think.
One skier to go, and he is a big one. Marco Odermatt, 26 years old, 5-time Crystal Globe winner. 2 overall, 2 in GS, 1 in Super G. 3 wins came in 2023. 3 of those Crystal Globes. Here he is. He controls his fate.
Well, 1.23 second advantage on Schwartz, who has the lead right now. That's what he had lead on him in that first run. Lost some time now. But Odermatt is just so strong, powerful. Watch him train this summer. One of the strongest guys in the circuit, and he always trains like he races, just 100% full on. So he's expecting that when he races. He knows what to do, and he's got caught a little bit in there, a little late in the line, but managed to regain a little bit of balance. Okay, 0.56, that's pretty good.
The last skier down the hill.
Oh yeah, look out, this is it.
Almost a second now ahead of the pace, going for the hat trick. He's won the last 2 years here. Make it 3 in news that should surprise absolutely no one. Marco Odermatt is your winner. 13 wins last year and add 1 now in the 2024 season.
Wow, just awesome. The guy's so good. Only 10th on that second run, but he didn't need much more. And how about Verdu in third? The first time a skier from Andorra has been on the podium, men or women, in a World Cup race. That's phenomenal.
So a little bit of history and a little bit of the favorites showing what the favorites can do, as Marco Odermatt is your winner, gold medalist in both the Olympics and the World Championships, and many times on the World Cup circuit. So that right there is your winner. But anybody else really jump out to you, Brian? I know Schwartz is one we were talking about, but a lot of young people in this race. Who jumped out besides the top dogs?
Well, for sure, Verdu, out at 19th, first time ever for an Andorran to win a medal, and that's great. And how about Marco Odermatt ties Alberto Tomba for 6th with 15 career giant slalom wins.
Tomba la bomba.
Yeah.
Here we go. This is your podium. Marco Odermatt doing Marco Odermatt things, winning this GS from Val Disere. Third place here. It just, I love that they do it right away when they're still extremely emotional and happy, and the adrenaline's kind of pumping. A lot of times you see in the Olympics, it's much, much later, and they've had a chance to calm down. I love seeing athletes pumping their fist and the blood just flowing through their veins. It's great.
He's still huffing and puffing.
Yeah. Winning never gets old, though. You know what I mean? It's not as if he kind of said, oh, well, that's what I do. Marco Odermatt was the clear-cut favorite coming in, and for all the good reasons that we've talked about throughout this entire race. Verdu making a little history. As you mentioned, first skier ever on the podium from Andorra, man or woman. Schwartz there in second, and there is Odermatt. I'll take a look at your full leaderboard here, and Zubcic just off the podium, which is always tough. And of course, one Canadian in the board, Eric Reed, finishing in 19th place. Giant slalom done here from Val Disere.
Thank you for watching Championship Skiing on CBC, presented by Mackenzie Investments. Be invested.